Hello and welcome to Shoot the Hostage with me, Dan, and my partner, Sarah. We're a movie podcast and we cover 8 films per season based on a specific theme. It is worth noting that we do occasionally swear, open brackets, very often swear, close brackets. We also occasionally cover triggering topics, so we would always advise using listener discretion and probably don't listen around your kids. If you like what we do and want to support us, please consider hitting 5 stars on Spotify or maybe subscribing or even reviewing on your platform of choice. We also have a Patreon with a free tier for lineups and updates and 2 paid tiers with extra content and early ad-free episodes. Right, that's enough from me. On with the show. Right, it's time for a 24 to kick off the second half of Identity season.
A 2024, a 24.
A 2024. Yes. But really 2025?
For us, yeah. It didn't
for
come
us,
out until last year.
Yeah, but it's listed as 2024, which is very confusing.
Well, perhaps they struggled to secure distribution because it's so gdang weird.
This is not our first A24 movie.
No.
This is our anyone?
Bueller. Eighth! Holy cow.
Yeah.
8th?
I know.
Wow, I'm trying to think now.
Name one.
Moonlight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Name a second.
No. Wait.
Come on, you'll kick yourself.
Was The Witch A24?
Correct.
There we go. Give me a clue.
I struggled to get through it.
That could be any number of films that I've chosen.
Yes. French.
Oh, Climax.
French
of course.
dancing. Yes.
What are the others?
Nicolas Cage.
Pig.
No.
No. What? Oh, we did. Oh, Dream Scenario.
Yes.
I was going to say we did 8 of them.
I was going to say that it was in the dream season, but that would have been, too easy.
Yeah.
Any others?
I'm struggling.
Got a lot of them. All right, we had The Green Knight.
Oh, of course.
And we had Ex Machina.
I hate it when you pronounce it like that.
What, the correct way?
No.
We've done a lot of A24 movies, haven't we?
Is that all of them?
Yeah, I believe so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That didn't sound like
that's
8.
all of them. Don't count. A24 movies represent about 8% of our output.
I mean, they are pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
I've got a few more on lists for potential future seasons.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
This will continue to come up.
I was on their website earlier and I sorted their movies A to Z and I went through every one and looked at what we've covered, hence that list. And then there were loads on there that I was like, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So maybe we could do an A24 season.
Can we?
Yeah, there's no reason why we couldn't.
Ooh.
It's our first Paul Rudd movie.
No
which is
way.
Surprising. I think so, unless he's popped up in anything as a bit part. We haven't done Clueless, have we?
No.
We haven't done that Halloween movie that he was in.
No.
Oh, do you remember we covered Wanderlust?
No.
No.
I don't think anybody's seen that, have they?
I have seen it.
Well, besides you, it's definitely our first Tim Robinson movie.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I couldn't name you another one.
No, precisely.
Recent movie. I had no idea what this was when you put it on. I think it was just Curzon Home, Dan, let's smash this on. And for the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I didn't know what to make of it.
Only 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's funny because we said we're covering friendship. It's in a description, whatever.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes I thought was very strange and I didn't know what to make of it. And it took me a while to acclimatise. And I watched a trailer earlier and I'm not sure that would have been very helpful because the trailer sort of leaned into is this a kind of a horror, weird kind of situation? But then there was quotes like one of the funniest movies of the year. So it's like, what?
See, I saw the trailer before that because it was playing at the local Curzon, and it kept getting additional weeks, and that never happens for smaller films. So it was there for sort of 3-4 weeks, and I was like, okay, well, if they're retaining it, it must be good. But I just couldn't find the time to go. And then one of our friends, who is quite particular about the sort of movies and particularly comedies that they like, kind of just sent me a text message with a glowing review saying you have to see it. It's the funniest thing I've seen in ages. So I was like, okay, let's give this a shot.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you did decide to put it on. I really enjoyed it. Found it very funny. This is now your third time watching this?
In like 6 months.
My second. I don't know, like when I first watched it, I wasn't like, oh, we've got to get this on a season. But when I was programming Identity, I do remember watching this and having the thought, like, because it's obviously all about friendship and him, and maybe his lack of identity in a way, and him trying to steal other people's identity and use it for himself. I don't know. There was something in that. And then when I was sitting down to program Identity, I did think, oh, I kind of have to put this in, I think. And I'm glad I did, because it's been an unusually dark season, and there's more of that to come for me. Yeah. So I'm glad we've got something in there. I guess you could say this is a lighter approach, but it's a dark comedy.
It's
a tricky one for it's very specific humor that if it's not your bag, you're not going to like it.
And it is unbearable at the same time. But do you know what? I think you were kind of onto something when you said you watched the trailer and you were getting horror vibes, because is this a horror movie?
It's not far away. It's a few steps away from a horror movie, I think.
I think you could make a pretty convincing argument that this fits in the horror genre. It is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wanted to crawl out of my own skin the first time I watched this. I was laughing as well, but I was so deeply disturbed by it.
It's definitely that cringe humor, which I love, which I really adore. But it's not often something that you gravitate towards. Sometimes.
Well, do you know what? I thought that I didn't like cringe comedy, but I'm learning that perhaps I've misjudged that a little bit, because this is maybe the most fun I've had with a film since, I don't know, Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah. I stand by that statement. Official. Yeah. So I thought, I've got to put it in there, and it wasn't until you mentioned when I was programming when I programmed the season, which you can see the full lineup on the free tier on Patreon if you want to see it, what's coming up. But you pointed out that I happen to like movies about disenfranchised men.
You do,
and this qualifies in that bracket for sure. So I guess that's why this is in that season, which I had no idea. But when I go through and look at the list, I'm like, yeah, that one.
Well, just look at your Blu-rays.
My Blu-ray collection is mostly that. You're right. It's like Fight Club, Falling Down, Chronicles of Riddick. So what do we know about writer-director Andrew DeYoung?
I know precisely fuck all.
You know diddly.
Yeah, I'm expecting you to regale me with facts.
Oh, I was expecting you to regale me with facts.
Shit. This is going to be a boring show, isn't it?
Right, end of show. Writer-director Andrew DeYoung. So, as with a lot of directors, began making music videos.
Okay.
Wasn't really, he was quite successful at it. Had videos on MTV and started getting quite close with record labels and such. Wasn't really feeling it, wasn't vibing with it, was a disenfranchised man, if you like, and decided to go and do what he loves, which is comedy. And he's just, I looked up his credits. This is his first feature, but just a bunch of TV stuff. He's got 70 credits. I looked on IMDb, around 72, I think it was.
Anything I know?
Our Flag Means Death.
Okay,
he directed some of that. The Chair Company.
Oh,
Tim
is
Robinson.
He friends with Tim Robinson then?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Some of High Fidelity, the show, which I didn't
the Zoe
catch,
Kravitz one.
But yeah.
It got cancelled, but people liked it.
Okay. And a show I'd never heard of, but apparently it's on Hulu, so possibly Disney for us, called Pen 15.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like...
Yeah.
It looks like penis.
And it's 2 female comedians playing teenage boys.
Yeah.
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 It's so funny.
I think I watched like a clip of it on TikTok or something, and it looked funny. Also co-wrote and directed Would It Kill You to Laugh? I don't know if you're familiar with that show. Apparently it's a sketch thing with Kate Ballant
Okay.
and John Early.
No, don't know that one.
So apparently massively inspired by Terrence Malick.
What?
Yeah, as a filmmaker, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen any Malick stuff. What would I have seen?
What do you mean Andrew DeYoung is inspired by, or this movie specifically is inspired by?
Andrew DeYoung.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I think I just read that on Wikipedia. But yeah, I haven't seen any Malick stuff, so I couldn't tell you if there's any of that DNA in his stuff.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think Terrence Malick movies are for you, but then I've been wrong before, so maybe you should give them a go.
I got that impression, which is why I haven't seen one.
Right, okay.
I think if I was going to see one, it'd probably be that war one. The Thin Red Line or the Thin Blue Line?
The Thin Blue Line was a sitcom.
Oh, it had Mr. Bean in it, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah, he was the policeman.
Oh.
British culture.
Sorry. Well, it's just a nice diversion to not be talking about Red Dwarf.
Yeah. Other British...
or Chris Barry in some way.
Listen, that's a good sitcom. I don't think... listen, let's not cast aspersions on the Thin Blue Line. Might be the greatest thing that was ever on telly, and I just remember it being a bit wank. DeYoung, he thought of the idea after being ghosted by a potential friend.
Oh.
So I heard that he'd had a similar experience, and I assumed that he was on the other side of it, but it turns out that he was the one that was ghosted.
He was the Craig Waterman.
Yeah, he was the Craig Waterman of that scenario.
Is he a narcissist?
He wrote it during the pandemic over 8 months. And whilst writing, he decided that he would cast Tim Robinson, or he offered Tim Robinson a role, and sort of continued to write in the style of Robinson, catering to his kind of sensibilities. And I was going to say standards, but I guess his standards are just be funny.
Inspired, I have to say.
Yeah. And apparently he tells him that he's going to shoot it like the master. So... yeah, I mean, I can see what he sort of means. Like, it's got the funny edge, but also it's got the weird edge. Like,
yeah.
Is the master funny? It's got its funny moments. Yeah.
I would say that Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman have a very different relationship in that film. But there's some crossover, I guess. Paul Rudd didn't have a cult. Sorry, religion.
That we know of.
Yeah, of course.
He may have done.
Who knows what goes on behind closed doors?
Yeah. So it was shot in New York around March 2024, premiered September 8th, 2024 at Toronto International Film Festival, which would explain the 2024 release date. Apparently A24, I'm going to call them that now.
Okay.
A24 acquired distribution rights after the festival, I think. Gets a theatrical release in May 2025, and that's roughly when did we watch it? Around July, maybe.
I thought it was later than that, but yeah, around the second half of last year.
It wasn't long after May 2025. Yeah, and so Tim Robinson. What do we know about Tim Robinson?
He's someone who likes to shout quite a lot.
Yeah,
and that's about it. Oh, and he has a club called Spider League.
Spider League. Yeah, I've got that as a note as well. I hadn't heard of him, seen him ever in my life until we watched this movie. And now I've sort of think of everything that he's done.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff of his that I haven't seen. There's a show called Detroiters.
Okay.
Which I haven't heard of or seen
no, I've
until
not seen
my research. I did watch After Friendship, some of The Chair Company. I watched most of it actually, but didn't finish it. Good. It was good. It was good. Maybe we'll get to that at some point. And we've just started watching I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Well, which is that what it's called?
It is.
I Think You Should Leave. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a funny one because
it is funny.
Well, okay, that's a peculiar one. Let me rephrase. Because I'd put it on before because I'd seen friends of mine online just kind of talking about it in a very positive light. And so I put it on thinking, let's give it a go. The episodes are really short. They're like 15, 20 minutes. And we just didn't get on with it. And I don't know why that is, but we switched it off quite quickly. Or maybe we got through the first episode and then just never came back to it. And I guess maybe we sort of had a similar experience with Friendship the first time. Because I think if you're not at least a little bit aware of what you're getting into, then it might not be up your alley.
Yeah, well, I find with a lot of movies actually that it's a lot about my frame of mind as well. And
Yeah.
if I'm not very very specific type of humor, if you're not prepared for it, then it can be a bit jarring. And I think like the more I sort of know, the funnier that stuff's sort of become to me now. Now I sort of know him and how he sort of works.
Well, that's it, yeah.
And it's not all great. Like, it doesn't all land for me, all of it, because in sketch shows I'm a little bit resistant to as well. But yeah, when it's funny, it's really funny.
Yeah, agreed. I'm glad we came back to that one.
And apparently he's in Scream 6.
Yeah, you said that, but I don't remember that.
No, I think he's in a mask.
Right. The Scream mask?
I don't think he's Goatface. No. I think he's in another type of mask. But it was very hard to find any information about it. I just found some like random article that confirmed that he was in it.
Scream 6.
And he's apparently in the credits as with thanks to Tim Robinson.
Right.
But also Tim Robinson's probably quite a common name.
That's true.
So it could be any number of Tim Robinsons.
So it might not be relevant at all.
Was there a Tim Robinson in Neighbours? I'm thinking of
Jim Robinson, not Jimp Robinson.
Not Jimp.
I love how this movie opens.
Do you?
Because
I like it more on the second time round. Because
the
first time round, I was kind of like, oh no, what's this depressing movie we're going to be watching?
I think that's why I love it though, because it sets the tone in a really strange way.
It does actually, yeah.
And I think lends more weight to the "is this a horror movie" argument, because it starts with like almost Gregorian chants.
Yeah.
And it's really odd, but it does kind of work.
Yeah.
And it's
just funny.
Well, yeah, it's very funny, but it kind of wrong foots you a little bit. It's confusing and it's weird, much like the film.
And it's the therapy, isn't it? I get that's the opening part of the movie. It's
like a cancer support group, I guess.
Oh, I guess it is, right? Yeah, survivors group.
Yeah.
And it's Kate Mara's character, Tammy. She's explaining that she's in recovery. What is it, about a year or something? And she's expressing herself and sort of saying her fears and whatnot, and things that are troubling her.
And that she can't orgasm.
But then, it's a funny reveal the first time you see it, because you don't realise that they're sitting next to each other, Tammy and Craig. And I didn't know that they were together. And so when she's talking about not being able to orgasm, and then it goes to him and he's like the husband, I'm like, oh my God, like, they're sitting next to each other. And then he finds a way to make it about him. So it's a really good introduction to the vibe of the movie, and also just who he is, because like he's a narcissist, isn't he? Like you could make that argument. I think
he's a narcissist.
Yeah. And in that scene he makes it about him, but in a very funny Tim Robinson-y type way. And then you move on to you get the good stuff, don't you, with is it Paul Rudd after that? He meets Paul Rudd.
It's shortly after that, yeah. Do you know what that opening made me think of?
No.
It's a sitcom. I'm sort of reticent to even call it a sitcom, really.
British Empire?
It's nothing to do with Chris Barry, no. Put that thought away. No, it's a BBC comedy show from like, I want to say the very early 2000s, called Nighty Night. I've never met another soul who's seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, because I made you. And I don't even think we finished it, but it just, the setup is almost identical, because the very first scene in Nighty Night, which is about a social terrorist called Jill Tyrrell in the West Country, and she's in a doctor's office with her partner, who's played by Kevin Eldon. And she's been talked to by the doctor, and she's going, I don't know how we're going to get through this. I don't know what to do. This is such a devastating blow. And Kevin Eldon sort of looks over and goes, it's all right, Jill. It's me that's got the cancer. Yeah. And it's Craig Waterman is sort of like the male equivalent.
No, that's a really good comparison, actually.
Maybe marginally less selfish.
I would say, yeah, I think Craig Waterman's a better person
Yeah.
than Jill. What's her name?
Jill Tyrrell.
Jill Tyrrell. Yeah, Jill Tyrrell is straight up evil person, right?
She's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. I think she kills people.
Spoilers.
Craig doesn't go that far. But would he? Given
Who
the
knows?
chance?
Who
I
knows?
don't know, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe Friendship 2 will shed some light on that.
Maybe, yeah. Well, it did well enough. The budget was £2 million. I said earlier that A24 acquired the rights. They paid £5 million for it.
Okay.
It released in cinemas and it made 17 million. Not quids. I'm saying quids. Quids doesn't apply to dollars.
No.
Quids is the official term for pound sterling.
GBP.
And American dollars is that.
Are you filibustering to fill time?
No, I don't know where I am in my notes. I've lost.
If you want an accurate currency conversion, go on xe.com.
I use that.
We're waiting for a sponsorship. I use it too for work. But yeah, after that first scene is when he is at home with his wife and she tells him that the parcel's shown up to the wrong place.
And that he has to,
he has to take it to their neighbour, which introduces us to one of my favourite recurring gags, which is the speed bump.
I love that, yeah. Has there ever been a movie that has a motif that's a speed bump?
There must be.
I don't know about... Because just the fact that the speed bump is a motif is funny to me.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it's used, that idea is just funny to me. And the fact that because he's going to meet his neighbour called Austin, played by Paul Rudd, who was actually originally apparently called Brian.
Okay.
But he wanted to distance himself from Anchorman, where he's called Brian Fantana, and suggested he be called Austin.
I mean, Austin's a cooler name.
Yeah.
But he's not a cooler person.
No. So he's on his way to meet Austin, and he explains to him that he had the speed bump put in.
Yeah.
And this is where they meet, and then they build a friendship, and Craig becomes obsessed with Austin.
That's where he has his first nosebleed because he's so overwhelmed in Austin's presence.
But I question Austin though, because Austin is not seeing these red flags at all. Like if a neighbour knocks on my door and says I had a speed bump put in, I'm never answering the door to you again. And not only that, when he brings the package, he says, I didn't open it, I didn't look in it because it's illegal to do that.
Yeah.
What?
What a square.
Yeah. So, I mean, Austin he's a bit of a dweeb as well, isn't he? And he's also not seeing any of these signs. And sort of quite naive as well, which is and again, that's sort of funny, I guess, that he would be looking up to Austin.
I think that's something that didn't necessarily occur to me as much until my second watch. But Austin is such a midlife crisis loser.
Yeah. He's like a poster boy for the midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a flash car. I play the guitar, and I'm a weatherman. Like everybody else, his work hates him.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's the coolest.
A yellow Corvette, which is like the most midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It's he's a funny one, and I think because he's having a midlife crisis, Craig is obviously just having a crisis constantly. Everyone in this movie is sort of struggling a little bit, and I think trying to find their way around who they are and their identity. So I'm thinking about it specifically for this season and watching it that second time. I was looking at each of the characters going, well, who are you and what are you presenting? And I don't think anyone's really being entirely honest with anyone else.
Do you know what? I think on third watch, with that in mind, I think Craig is probably of the two men, definitely the one with the more fixed identity.
Do you?
I do. I think on face value, it seems like Austin is, because he's so sure of himself. But he's a total poser. He's an absolute poser. Like pretending to not have a phone to appear cooler.
Yeah.
You absolute gobshite.
Yeah.
Whereas Craig just wants to go and see the Marvel movie that's come out, because I don't know if you've heard, but it's nuts.
It's amazing. It's crazy, man. I don't know if I'm on board with that. Maybe we'll unpack it a little bit more. But
I think they're both very insecure.
100%. I think Craig to me, because I was concentrating on him, and I decided that he doesn't have a personality. All of his clothes are brown.
Mm-hmm.
He works at a
From
place,
Ocean View Dining, no less.
OVD.
Which is
are going to get more money from me.
But even Ocean View Dining, even the name of the brand that he shops at is funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
That's all right. He works at some kind of tech company where like his job is to get people addicted to their phones. So like that's another thing like you can dislike about him. And it is watched an interview with Andrew DeYoung earlier, Q&A session, and he mentioned that was kind of there because like that's what he does for a living is kind of the opposite of connection, which is what he's trying to get with Austin as well.
I like that.
But yeah, I found him to be like quite like a nothing character. At the start of the movie, he's sitting on the settee. It's Tammy that actually says to him, you know, you should go and get a friend. He, like you say, he enjoys the Marvel stuff, but how much of that is that him borrowing from his son's identity?
Yeah,
who
maybe.
Who we don't think is his real biological son.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I'm going to use the term biological. I think
we'll
that's
get
better.
to that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I very much saw Craig as an empty vessel, really, and just sort of cribbing off of anyone that he saw and repeating stuff, but mostly Austin. I felt like he was maybe comfortable with just being on his own and not really doing anything, being very passive.
Being a blank slate.
Yeah, being a blank slate. And then you've got Austin, who appears like an exciting person doing all this cool stuff.
Bit of a social butterfly.
Yeah, he collects old things and has funny, says goodbye in a funny way and things like that.
Stay curious.
Yeah, and wears costumes, and he's a weatherman, and he's in a band. And so, like, on the face of it, he seems like he's securing himself. But there are things that happen in the movie that kind of peel away those layers, and you do figure out. I think he's got more identity than Craig has. I think I disagree with you about that. But I think that he is also struggling. That's also a sort of a question I have about identity in general, not just in connection with this film and this season, but how much of what you portray is who you are or who you think you should be. Like there's a whole, you know, and you know, when you enjoy something and you're expressing yourself about it, I don't know, there's a sense of I don't know, when you're really passionate about something, there's like a performative element to it. Like maybe it's just me, I don't know. But like if I'm really excited or something, then I'm going to be more passionate and expressive about it. I don't know really where I'm going about it with this, but I think I'm sort of trying to unpack where the line is between who you actually are and who you show yourself to be. And I guess that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Is this too much?
No. No. I don't. You know me. I don't want small talk. I like this.
Big talk.
Especially as somebody who spent most of their life masking. Like that's...
I wondered what you was going to say then.
What did you think I was going to say?
Don't make me say it. This is an 18-rated podcast, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely see what you're saying in terms of there being a performative element. I would say at this age, I've let that go. But I think for a lot of people, I guess that's there. I don't really know. Yeah. It's interesting though.
But I think Austin definitely has some of that. That kind of thing where he's sort of showing off, isn't he? Like you say, he wants people to think that he doesn't have a phone because he's a wanderer and an adventurer who walks through sewers and collects old rocks. And when Craig learns that stuff, he then wants to be an adventurer and collect old rocks and say goodbye in a weird way, and so he's just copying him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess what I mean when I say I think Craig's got the more fixed identity, I think particularly at the start of the film, Craig's just content being quite boring.
He seems to be, but I don't think his family are content.
No. Which is why I made a note. So going back to his son, I made a note at the start of this, like the first sort of interaction that he has with his son, he felt so disconnected from him that I thought perhaps he was a stepson.
Oh, did you?
I thought it was the wife's kid from like a former partner or former marriage or something. Because they feel so disparate to me. And then you've got that scene where the mother and son kiss each other on the lips, and even he's weirded out by it.
You kiss each other on the lips?
Yeah. But like in a weird way, that's sort of his insecurity poking out, because he almost sounds jealous.
Yeah. There's definitely like an emasculation element to that scene, I think. And I think it's intentional that way. And also with the whole son thing, the son played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who's in Shazam and It. I didn't think about it at all on first watch, but on this watch, I thought to myself, he's definitely not his biological son.
Yeah.
Because because that's the funnier of the two options. I don't know what otherwise it says about me, but it just is.
The vibes are completely different. They look completely different.
And not only that, I think that he doesn't know. And I think
that Craig doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because it's not mentioned. Like no attention is drawn to it. So in my mind, and I'm thinking, if I was making this, how would I make it the funniest I can? And I just wouldn't draw any attention to it. But really, like, he's not his son. And I think because the ex is in the picture as well later, isn't he? And they're at the party and they're talking and they're very, like, they've got their arms around each other. So I think the joke is that they have continued to be a family for as long as Tammy's been married to Craig.
Right.
And they've got a unit, and everyone knows that Stephen is not Craig's son, except for Craig. Craig's literally the only person that doesn't know.
Because he's so fucking self-involved.
He's so self-involved and he's oblivious, and he just doesn't pay attention to anything outside of what's going on in his like brain.
Yeah.
He has some moments of realization. Or I can think of one where he sees Tammy's reflection in a microwave.
When he's peering around the wall.
Yeah.
Do you think he realizes that his job is so predatory and fucked up?
I think that he is self-aware enough to realize that what he's doing is bad. I just don't think he thinks about it at all.
Yeah, I think that's where I land.
I think he just does his job and just gets up in the morning, goes to work, does the thing, goes home, and doesn't think about anything else. Doesn't ponder life or goals or what to do. Has never had any sort of ambition, has just sort of gone from, I guess he must be quite reasonably well paid, I guess, so he must be doing something right. I guess being a giant piece of shit to work for that tech company.
Oh, so it pays well.
Manipulation, isn't it? So
I think a man who was capable of any sort of self-reflection would have taken a look at his work colleagues and gone, oh, these are all giant pieces of shit. Maybe I'm also a giant piece of shit.
He calls one of them a moron when they almost make him spill his coffee when he's filled up his cup too much. You want to get your money's worth, didn't you? What's his backstory? There's very little background information given on anyone, really. You're only sort of given the things that are presented to you scene by scene, and I wonder what his backstory is. Craig, where did he come from? How did he marry Kate Mara? Like, how is this happening? What's the situation there?
I think my suspicion is that Kate Mara was in love with her ex. That relationship ended, and then he probably swooped in when she was at a vulnerable moment.
Yeah, proposed to her on the docks.
That's what I think. Yeah.
I wonder, just outside of that, like, where did he go to school? Did he go to college? Did he have any friends? What was his first car? Like, where does he go on holiday? And the answer to all these questions are probably very, very dull.
Yeah. He's never been on holiday.
Yeah.
He was completely invisible at school. He wasn't voted most or least likely to do anything because people didn't notice him. That's what I think.
But he must have had some sort of colourful past in some way, because he's too animated to not have. Like,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
He gets so angry at things, and he's so, like, and just by his reactions, like, there would have been some funny stories. I don't know, but he's such an I guess what I'm saying is he's such an unusual man that I bet that there's just a bunch of scenarios, and maybe it's more sort of awkward than sort of interesting. I don't know. Maybe I would just find it interesting, like to be a fly on the wall, whatever. But there must be something else about him. I don't know.
I think there's a version of this film where he becomes a serial killer
During the course of the movie.
after the
After the
movie. I think
events.
that's the logical next step.
Well, if you're going to do a sequel, then you could go down that route, I
Yeah.
guess.
That fits to me.
Mm.
I just want to go back to something briefly that you touched on as well, and that's like Austin's collectibles. And this is something that didn't occur to me until the third time watch. When he gets that, I think it's like a hand axe, some sort of stone hand axe. I can't remember the period it came from, but he's going on about how, oh, it's from this era and men from these parts of the world used to use it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, that would be in a museum.
Mm.
Like, he's been ripped off. I think that was the first thing that sort of clued me into the fact that he was a chump as well.
Okay. Interestingly, that piece is actually 400,000 years old and does belong to the director. It was a gift, apparently.
From who?
I don't know. Stanley Kubrick. I don't know.
Terrence Malick, more like.
Could be on the grave. Yeah, could have been. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. But that's another thing that Craig tries to replicate as well. He buys that tiny sword, which he starts waving it around, and he says, "Oh, people used to wave this sword around." And I'm thinking, is it a sword? It's tiny.
Well,
can
his
a sword
friends
be small?
his workmates take the piss out of him and call it a little dagger.
Yeah. I thought it was an actual dagger, and he just got it wrong.
It's a sword for babies.
Mm.
Everyone had to go to war in the olden days.
Yeah. Conscription from right out of the womb, just out of the womb hole, and then straight into an army uniform. Off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately. They'll give you something to cry about. It did also make me laugh that Paul Rudd is playing guitar again.
I was going to bring up I Love You Man. I've listened to a couple of podcasts about this this movie, and both of them have mentioned I Love You Man.
I think you sort of have to, because it's
Paul Rudd.
It's another prominent movie about male friendship.
And
he slapped a bass.
And this movie is compared to I Love You Man in the trailer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, what does it say? I think it says, I love you, man, for sickos or weirdos or something of that nature.
I love that. That's so accurate.
But that's your, isn't that your favourite Paul Rudd movie?
Probably. Well, no, it's Friendship.
Okay. Friendship is your favourite Paul Rudd movie?
It is now, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this was on our joint top 5 of last year.
Was it?
Friendship was, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
the one that we recorded like literally 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I think the part where we were predicting each other's guesses was maybe cut out because the sound went a bit fucky. But I think the part where we were just reading out our own choices was retained because we were shocked that we both had Friendship at number 5.
Yeah.
How did you forget that?
I don't know.
How invested in the friendship do you think Austin is from the get-go? Because I think you can tell that he kind of gets off on the adoration from Craig initially.
Do you think so? I
do. I think he enjoys it.
You think it, so maybe he's seen the red flags and he's just like, I'm going to ignore him because this guy's a bit of a sucker and someone's going to think I'm great for a while.
Yeah, because this guy thinks I'm cool. Because I sort of, you barely see his wife, but I get the impression that his wife doesn't think he's very cool.
Yeah, Craig refers to him as her better half, and she does not care for that.
No.
But he has a very cool group of friends.
Oh my God. Does he though?
No.
That just spontaneously start harmonizing.
Yeah,
it's a cappella.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because like this film is, it's a lot of it's about male loneliness, right?
And if you believe the internet, we're in a male loneliness epidemic right now.
Yeah, and you see this group of friends, and Craig's like aspiring to be in this group. Like he seems nervous at first, but gets integrated, and you have a couple of minutes of it going quite well. But I've never seen a group of male mates act like that ever.
Yeah, I think on face value, his friends do look like quite a nice, sincere bunch. Because, the singing and the comforting of the dad of the teenage daughter and stuff. But that feels really performative to me as well.
Mm.
I don't know. I just get the impression that they're all kind of putting on some sort of performance to a degree. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
mean,
maybe they're all desperately lonely, and
they're
this is
they're singing and then they're punching each other with the boxing stuff. And
that's
it's
so
like,
weird.
I don't know, very, I guess, masculine, if you want to call it that, thing to do, or typically.
But I don't think they really care about appearing masculine because of the singing and the guy openly crying.
It's an unusual mixture, isn't it?
It
It's
is,
just...
but that's what I mean. Like on the face of it, it seems quite healthy. But I think the more you watch the film and the more you start to dig, the more it's just like, oh, you're all a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Just be yourselves.
I guess it depends if they are being genuine and being themselves, or if it's just for someone else's benefit, I guess. And it's hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe we're reading too much into it. And maybe
probably.
It's possible that they just wanted to make the friendship group funny, especially played off against Tim Robinson, who in that scenario, when people start singing, on the one hand, I think he's thinking, what the hell is going on? But on the other hand, he's sort of allured, I guess, by the thought that he might be accepted into a friend group like this.
Well, yeah, I think when everybody starts joining in with the singing, he's like, kinship.
It's when Paul Rudd keeps looking at him as well, and he's like, come on, join in. And I'm thinking, no, don't. That was the cringiest part for me.
Was it?
The whole movie is when that guy started singing. I was like, oh no.
What about like shortly after that when he's trying to eat soap?
That's funny, yeah, that's funny. But
that made me cringe.
The singing's way cringier for me. Any of that stuff. It's just when people close their eyes when they're singing or playing guitar or playing piano or something, I find quite cringy. I don't know.
But it all ties back into Austin just being a massive loser, because if you look at the things that he's into, they are, when you break it down, things that only a bigger loser would be drawn to, if that makes sense. And I mean, like, the stuff in isolation is fine, but when you look at his tastes and interests grouped together, it's such a sad man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I guess so, but again, I go back to, like, it depends if he's actually interested in that stuff. If I met him, I'd probably think he was quite cool until I got to know him. Probably, like, yeah, we're about the same age. He seems fun. He took me to a sewer. I've always wanted to go to a sewer. I lost a shoe.
While wearing your dysentery beige coat and pants.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the worst colour as well. I love it.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing too much myself in Tim Robinson. I'm not a crazy person, you understand, but I did, on some level, relate to him. I'm sort of scared to say that because I do think he's a psychopath. But there's some. I'm not saying that I'm like him, but I'm saying that I can relate to certain situations or reactions that people have had to him about saying the complete wrong thing. Like I've told you many times about the shit that comes out of my mouth sometimes, and like it's just stuff that goes in your head that you shouldn't say out loud. Nothing bad.
Yeah.
Just out of context stuff that people just raise an eyebrow to and go, what?
Yeah, or you might take things just a step too far.
Yeah.
And you like misread the room a little bit.
Yes, exactly that.
I know what you mean.
I sort of relate to him on that level a little bit.
You don't have the outbursts of anger though, thankfully.
No.
You're too chill for that.
Yeah, I can't do a 12-minute skit with Conroy Malley.
I love that. That's so funny. I knew that they were ad-libbing. I didn't know they'd done it for 12 minutes and cut it down.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Watch the whole thing on YouTube. It was so good. Just to watch them just bounce and to see them like almost crack and laugh at each other and all of that stuff. And to see what got used in the film as well. They essentially it was the 12 minutes, maybe it was longer, but it was the 12 minutes that I watched and they just cut bits out of it to just condense it all down. I guess that's what editing is in many ways. But it was interesting to see the full-length version and compared to what we got in the movie. They definitely used all of the best parts in the cut-down version, but it was still fun.
That's also editing
to watch. It is. Yeah.
I'm glad you understand what editing is.
Yeah, you can tell. I think anyone listening can tell that we've just done that masterclass with Film a Schoonmaker.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Available 10% discount code. All you got to do is type in shoot hostage with
this is all bullshit.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It won't work and we'll get the blame.
It's not a real thing. But yeah, the bit that you were just talking about, the I guess putting your foot in it when you're around people you don't know as well, or that don't know how to read you also, it can be quite stressful. So I do kind of empathize with Craig a little bit on that level. But you've just reminded me of one of my favorite parts of the entire film. And that's when he realizes that Austin was lying about not having a phone. So he goes to buy a new phone. And the phone salesman, who's like 18, by the way.
T-boy.
Only when his hair's down. Tony, all of the times.
Tony.
But yeah, I cannot remember exactly what he says, but there's just this micro expression where he sort of looks down and there's this just look of total mortification. And Tim Robinson does it so pitch perfectly that it ruins me. But it's such a throwaway, like split second look.
I know exactly what you mean, and
I recognize it because I've done it.
Me too. It's isn't it where he says, he mistakes Tony's age and says, you're about 30 or something, aren't you? And he says, no, I'm 18. And he says, oh God, all of the young people look old now. Even the teenage girls look 45.
Yeah.
And he looked down then as if to say, what am I saying? Yeah.
Oh, I've definitely been there. Not that specific scenario.
No. Yeah. It's very important that we clarify that.
Yes.
But we're just saying the wrong thing. But that even, you mentioned about doing it with people that you don't know, but even people that I know very well, like I'll still say something stupid in front of somebody that I shouldn't.
What about me?
You know me. I don't think there's anything that I can say that would really shock you at this point.
Not at this stage, no.
So no, I'm quite comfortable there. But I just mean like family members, even people that I've known my entire life. There's, you can say weird shit and you get the raised eyebrow. I have. I've done it.
You're a weird
times.
dude. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. But do you think? Don't come for me.
Okay,
Sarah. Ooh. And internet. But is there any neurodivergent elements to Craig?
I've seen this talked about online.
You folded your arms. You're going to get very. You're going to defend your point here now, aren't you?
I've called him a narcissist already in this show. I'm not trying to armchair diagnose a fictional character or Tim Robinson. Yes, I think there are some neurodivergent traits there. Do I think he's neurodivergent? No, I don't.
The character we're talking.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't?
No, but I think he's on the cusp.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wanted to ask your opinion about it.
Why's that?
It's hard to read.
My brain's totally normal.
Yeah, you're a normal person, just like me.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's harder in comedy because when you're watching a comedy, like just a good staple joke is to take things literally. Like that's a really easy joke. If someone says something to you, you pretend that you're taking it literally, and that's funny sometimes.
I worked out very early on that me doing that made other people laugh, so I lent into it.
Yeah, but you were probably like, there was an element of truth to it, right?
Yeah. Initially, yeah. Exactly. But when I learned it got a laugh, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
People think I'm funny. Excellent.
But you don't think that he's autistic at all, that character? There's absolutely not 0% neurodivergence, completely normal brain on Craig.
I do not put words in my mouth. He's definitely not normal.
I'm not saying an autistic person doesn't have a normal brain. Let me just say that.
It depends on your definition of normal. Anyway, I honestly don't know, but my gut feeling says that when they were writing this movie, I don't think they had autism in mind, put it that way.
I think they had Tim Robinson in mind.
Yes, who is a very specific human being. And I've seen him in enough interviews now to know that he is quite strange. He's very funny. And he seems quite comfortable with who he is in real life.
Yeah, he does seem a lot more at ease with himself than he does with the characters that I've seen him play. Yeah. Maybe he's acting.
Maybe this whole thing is just a performance. Who knows? We've not even begun to talk about the part where he, in an effort to try and inject some excitement back into his relationship, takes Tammy into the sewers and loses her. We must talk about this, Dan.
Well, isn't that after where he sees her reflection of
Yeah.
dissatisfaction, and he's like, right, come on, we're going out, we're going on an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes her into the sewer that Austin took him into. And it's just like a poor man's version of that tour.
Well, that's one of the things that makes me think he might be a narcissist, because instead of thinking, what does my wife want to do with her evening? He's like, well, I thought this thing was cool, so I'm going to take her here.
I think that's the only thing that he knows, the only thing that he thinks is interesting.
Besides going to see a Marvel movie.
Else to do. Yeah, it's like, it's go and see Marvel or go to the sewer.
Yeah.
That's your options, right?
The classic Friday night conundrum.
I mean, they've obviously spoken many, many times about doing that the army meal that he aspires to.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like 22 ribs or whatever.
It's too much food.
Mac and cheese, Caesar salad. Yeah, so they've spoken about that. She's not interested in doing the meal. What else is there? Sewer. I went to the sewer that time. That was good. I think he just went back to go and find his shoe. But yeah, he takes her in there, and she's obviously not happy about it. And he sort of says, "Well, you're here and you're healthy and stuff.
Just enjoy the sewer, goddammit."
Yeah, enjoy the sewer. And it's funny because earlier in the movie she said that she doesn't orgasm, but then when she's lost in the sewer, she has an orgasm in the sewer.
Alone, I think, is the key distinction.
Yeah. And what really made me laugh is after she comes back and she tells him that she had an orgasm. There's like quite a long pause, and he goes, "That's great." And it's like you've misread that on every single level. That is the most unusual and inappropriate response that you could have to that statement. Do you you don't understand the ramifications of what she's just said, do you?
Well, I wouldn't know exactly how to respond either, but it wouldn't be that way.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, we're breaking up, aren't we?
Yeah. But that sewer scene's really good. Like it, and the fact that he loses her and comes back, and then the police have to knock on his door.
He's just like bimbling around the house. He doesn't tell his son. Then the police show up, and they're like, "And where is your wife?" And he just very quietly goes, "She's in the sewer."
She's in the sewer.
His delivery just like scratches something in my brain.
Yeah.
I can't really explain it in any better way.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying to me.
I think I like that whole setup, that whole scenario surrounding the sewer and what it means for their relationship. And it's kind of an integral point of that relationship and of the movie. But it's not my favorite scene. I think possibly my favorite scene. I've got a few, but I think one of them is definitely Frog.
That frog ripped me off.
That frog ripped me off. It's definitely licking the toes. You're going to make it pop. And then was that lick too big?
I forgot all about that bit.
And then is expecting a wild trip, like T-Boy sets up this scenario where he's going to die and be reborn, and it's going to be painful and beautiful, and he's going to go on a whole journey. And then he wakes up and he says, "How long were you out?" Like months, years, and he's like minutes. And you see what happens in his trip, and he goes to Subway and orders a sandwich.
Yeah, I think
he's served by Austin,
an aged Paul Rudd.
Aged Paul Rudd with a moustache. The whole Subway get up, working in Subway, and I thought that was an interesting. What does that mean about his?
What does that tell us about his subconscious?
Yeah, and his relationship to Austin at that point. It's like a power reversal thing that he's getting at there, maybe. I don't know, but it's very funny that he just goes to order a sandwich. It's like the opposite of the trips we saw in Fear and Loathing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I wonder how much of the film is down to clever editing and how much of it was just Tim Robinson, because some of the choices for his delivery are so perfect. And I'd love to know what was editing, what was direction, and what was just Tim Robinson.
I think it's just a happy mixture of all of it. Like, he was writing the script, and then he's writing it with Tim Robinson in mind. And then when they're shooting it on set, they're probably rewriting and cutting and adding things and improvising and stuff. So, and then when they get into the editing room, they're finding the natural cut points, I guess, and you make it funnier then, I guess, because like you say, if you cut the right point, that's often can be a good joke if you set that up correctly.
Yeah. All I know is there are a few things in this life that make me laugh more than Tim Robinson just cussing somebody out and getting really angry and yelling.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I find that immensely funny. Maybe it'll get old, but
Maybe.
right now, I like it.
Flavor of the month. I really love there's a couple of gatherings where the first one is maybe where he is standing outside on a balcony and he's at Austin's house and he's sort of giving himself a pep talk. You're really interesting, You're really cool. And then he walks into the glass and then he opens the door and he walks through and the glass breaks behind him. That really made me laugh the first time. Both times we saw it, but like where the first time, I think that's the point where I'm like, oh, I'm really going to enjoy this. And there's a nice pause. And then he says, so where you're from? And that's really funny. Yeah. And it's like, he's delivered it in a really funny way. And it's at that point, you're kind of like, this might work out. But then a few minutes later, he's eating soap. But
after sucker punching Paul Rudd twice.
Yeah. And then they have a reunion later, but later on, that reunion is under duress. It's they're held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Like,
ask me something.
Austin's gun as well. Austin's gun.
Storms are coming.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. That's the stuff that I love. Like, he goes when he breaks into his house and he opens the gun box and there's an engraving on the box that just says storms are coming, and it's the bit in between storms are coming. And I'm like, yeah, Austin definitely wrote that. And that's just funny. And there's no like attention drawn to it. It just opens up, and like it's those little details that really get me.
It's the specificity of it. They've really sort of thought about these characters.
I think so, yeah. And what's the funniest thing you can do with a box?
Yeah. And it's just so loaded with jokes. Like even these throwaway little visual gags. It's packed. I love that.
Yeah. And there's one I think I mentioned maybe both times when we were watching it, but when he buys the drum set and he wheels it over to Austin's house, and it occurred to me that he probably, when he bought the drum set, he had it delivered, and then when he got the cold shoulder from Austin, he thought, I've got to buy a little trolley now so I can wheel my drum set over. And that whole thing, like I played that whole scenario out in my brain where he's looking at prices on Amazon and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know if I can see something and then I can just see the layers behind it and see that character making the decisions that's got him to that point. That's just all the more funnier to me.
Yeah.
Little details like that really get me.
So another little detail about that is he says that he got the drum set in green to match Austin's guitar, but Austin's guitar is red. So apparently that's like a subtle clue that Craig might be colorblind.
Oh, right, really?
Yeah.
Okay, hence wearing brown all of the time?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's quite a lot to unpack, really, isn't there? Like more than you would think.
Yeah, definitely more than there appears to be on face value.
Yeah,
for sure. Do you have any other favorite scenes?
Well, the other one I was going to mention is more the final part of the movie. So
okay.
Have you got any before we get there?
Well, the only one that we haven't mentioned is probably one of my favourite visual gags, and that's just when they're stood in the forest and Craig very, very slowly just starts sinking in the swamp.
Yeah.
I thought that was done brilliantly.
Yeah, really good, really good. That's where he loses his phone for the first time as well. Yeah. So I think he loses 3 phones in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then. What's yours at the end?
Well, I love the fact that, you know, he loses his job after he loses his shit with the mayor. He's on a bit of a downward spiral. He split up with his wife, Tammy. He becomes a traffic warden.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the perfect job for that character. And he seems to be getting his life back on track. Tammy and him sort of start reconnecting when they share a meal with their son for his birthday.
With her son.
For his birthday. And then they go back and they're gonna put the Marvel on and have a nice chilled night. And it kind of, like you said it while we were watching the movie, you loved that fake out, right? The fact that the camera, she says, use the van, and it's sort of, the camera's on the outside of the house and it starts like pulling away from the house, and it feels like the credits are going to roll, and
You've
it's like,
got
oh,
that-
they're going to reconcile.
Yeah, the music sort of fits with a
Yeah.
finale. The car drives out of shot to the left
Yeah,
and then just slowly edges back into shot.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's what he's deciding to do is drive the van that he's just bought Tammy into Austin's Corvette. But what really gets me is that he gets taken out by his own speed bump. And that's everything. Like,
talk about being hoisted by your own petard.
Yeah. But to put that speed bump in there so early, and for it to represent everything about that character,
Could almost call it a bookend.
you can always call it a bookend. Yeah. I love that a speed bump is so important to this movie.
Is Craig the villain, or is the speed bump the villain of the movie?
Speed bumps are always villains, aren't they? Yeah, no, I love that. I love the fake out, and then I love the fact that he gets taken out by his own speed bump and then immediately runs out of the car and runs into the house with the gun and then holds them all at gunpoint. And it's just like, how far is this guy going to go? And he just doesn't stop ever. And he's holding them at gunpoint. You know, he's
breaks the window again.
Breaks the window again. He's trying to force a conversation, and he says, "Oh, you've even got a new guy. What's your name, new guy? Jimp."
That's not a name.
Jimp.
Jimp.
Oh,
It shouldn't be as funny as it is.
No.
But all just the
It's performance. A lot of it's delivery, isn't it?
Yeah, but I do feel like this film is sort of like a little bit of magic, because it's almost like more than the sum of its parts. Like, if you break it down, a lot of it isn't all that special. Like, no shade to the makers of the film. Absolutely don't mean it in a derogatory way. But the way it all comes together makes it like close to perfect, I think.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I struggle to think about what I think about this film objectively a little bit, because part of me is like, yeah, this is one of the funniest films I've seen in a decade. And actually, when I thought about it, it's really clever. But how much of that is me wanting to see more in this film that isn't there? When I bet that the most important thing on the day was just to do the funniest thing possible.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see all these like psychological connections, and what does all of this mean, and metaphors for this and motifs for that. Like, did they really? I'm sure that there was a lot of intentional stuff, but
I think this film almost is a psychological horror movie. So to me, that makes perfect sense that you would look for that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's got vibes of like Cable Guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you remember that Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes movie, The Fan? Which
yeah,
may
I
have
do.
been a remake, possibly. Yeah, stuff like that. It's definitely got that uncomfortable edge to it. And those movies.
Ingrid Goes West.
Ingrid Goes West is a great example. Yeah, Cable Guy does lean into the comedy more, as much as this film, I would say. Which I do like the Cable Guy. But things like The Fan, Ingrid Goes West, they're played more for the tension, and it's more the thriller kind of situation. Yeah, but I guess there's not much between. I don't know. A lot of it's. What's the difference between a horror and a comedy and a thriller? Like, are they pretty similar? I don't know. Horror and comedy we've spoken about many times. Obviously, you've got your build-ups and then your sort of release.
I think the framework is usually pretty similar.
I think you can just change a couple of things in this. Add a scene where he's shanking someone, and it's a horror.
Yeah,
like, and just change things slightly. I don't think it would take much, really. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird movie. That I really, really enjoy. You can get it on physical.
Oh, okay.
You can get it for about 20 quid. You can get you get a French version for 20 quid. I'm
gonna hang fire.
You've seen it 3 times now.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice. It's on Curzon. But I definitely do want to buy it.
Yeah, same.
A lot of the time when I buy a physical as well is what are the extras on it. So I want to check that out. But we've already seen the 12-minute improv scene between Conor O'Malley and Tim Robinson that is on the disc, apparently. So we don't need to buy it for that.
Okay.
But it will go on the shelf at some point. Maybe Umbrella will do a nice release. It will be at A24, won't it, actually? What are we talking about?
Do you know what else you can get on the A24 merch store?
No.
You can get the brown Ocean View dining trousers.
No way.
Yeah.
Should I get some brown Ocean View dining trousers?
They're $90. Don't do it.
What? Plus shipping?
Yeah, I imagine.
Fucking hell. That's a bit much.
It's a little bit steep for some brown pants, yeah. One last thing. Did you know that Kate Mara did briefly get lost in the sewers when they were filming?
I just assumed it was a set. Well, they shot it on location.
I
in a
assumed
sewer.
it was a set, but I found some information that it may have been a real sewer.
No way.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that she actually got lost.
Briefly, yeah.
Okay. And is that where the similarities ended? Or...
I don't know if she also orgasmed.
Okay, right. Okay.
They didn't detail that. You'd have to ask her.
I don't think I would ask her.
But yeah, I mean, this movie, if you couldn't tell, gets a big double thumbs up from me.
Yeah, me too. It's just funny. Like comedies they're very subjective, aren't they?
Do you think comedies are maybe the most subjective genre?
Yeah, easily. I would say easily. But I think if you're a fan of cringe comedy, then you probably would like this. I would say.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody.
I think I cringed so hard that I died briefly.
Yeah.
But then I laughed so hard that it brought me back.
Do you know what? I can sort of see, I could see someone watching this and going, I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be like, yeah, I get you. I understand. No shade. I understand. I wouldn't go to bat for it so hard that you just don't get it. Because I think it's a very specific type of comedy that you either just like or you don't. And it turns out that it's exactly my type of thing. But I've always loved that cringe stuff. Always. I love it. The cringier the better. Your Nathan Fielders, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, going back to The Office, all of that stuff is exactly my type of thing. And this is like that, but with a really angry person at the end of it. And that makes it even funnier.
Would you call yourself a Tim Robinson fan now?
I would now, yeah, for sure.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd watch anything that he does. Watch it. We'll carry on watching that sketch show. I'm sure. I would probably go back and start the Chair Company again if you wanted to get through that at some point. He's a very similar character in that again.
That's fine.
Yeah,
he does one thing and he does it very well.
Does it very well, yeah. So yeah, I continue to watch probably whatever he does.
Cool. Me too.
Awesome.
So what's next?
So next week we're going to do another Aronofsky, our second one in a lifetime of the show. We're doing Black Swan.
I'm quite excited for this because it's a first time watch for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I've managed to avoid it for all of this time that it's been out.
Have you also avoided spoilers?
I believe so, but sometimes I will say that and then we'll watch a thing and I'll go, oh yeah, no, I knew this would.
Oh, you mean like last night when we put Sleepaway Camp on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to be unsurprised by Black Swan.